G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well and I hope you're ready for another cocktail. I'm using this cocktail to celebrate two things essentially. One, a new bottle of whiskey, a new limited edition from local distillery Starwood, which they call Unexpeated because it's a single malt Australian whiskey, 48% alcohol, so nearly 100 proof, but it's been finished in Islay Scotch barrels, specifically a collision of the old world and new. Distillers sourced peated, whiskey-soaked barrels from Islay off Scotland's west coast, filled them to the brim with our Australian red wine barrel-aged whiskey, casual peat characteristics smelled with our delicious single malt to create a whiskey unlike other we've crafted before. Fully matured in Melbourne without a peat bog I really ruined that there. Without a peat, I want to say peak and it's peat. Peat bog, no peat in Australia, no peat. I think you can get peat in Tasmania actually. Now you see, that's Unexpeated. Now honestly, I love Starwood, I love the folks there. Oh yeah, no, it's not working for me, the Unexpeated. I don't think that quite came off, honestly. But in terms of whiskey, yeah, I've already had a cheeky taste of this. It does not smell particularly smoky, but it's got a lot of character. So that's the first thing I'm celebrating, new whiskey. Second thing, blood orange season in Australia. So these are all going to come together to make a riff on the classic blood and sand. And seeing it's going to have a lot of Australian ingredients, I'm going to call it a bloody sand. It's bloody sand, mate. Traditionally, a blood and sand will have blended scotch and maybe a float of Islay on the top. And I'm just going to use this and see how it comes out. So without further ado, we will start with our bloody sand. And I'm starting with the Unexpeated. It's going to be 1 ounce of the whiskey. We're also adding a cherry brandy, cherry liqueur. This is the only non-Australian component I'm using. I have to find a good maker locally for cherry liqueur because I like cherry liqueur, but this will be with me for a while. And so we're going to do 3/4 of an ounce, about 22.5 mils of cherry liqueur. Back with the Australian ingredients, I'm using sweet vermouth from Maideneye. Again, 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of sweet red vermouth. Finally, the blood orange juice, which I juiced earlier. I was also making a special cordial / sweet and sour mix, and I did make a video of that, which will be coming up on the channel in the next week or so. So if you want a very special cocktail syrup recipe, a milk clarified, citrusy, sweet and sour, it's a fantastic thing. It took me ages to do, so I hope you appreciate it. But for now, just the blood orange juice, and we're doing 1 ounce or 30 mils of blood orange juice. This is a shaking cocktail, so we add ice to our shaking glass, put the shaker together, bang it in hard, and give that a solid shake for 10 or so seconds. We strain this into a chilled glass. I'm using a Nick and Nora. You can use a coupe or what you have on hand. Bit of stemmed glass to make it look really elegant. Get a lovely wash line and fantastic. It's living up to its name, the bloody sand. But I think we need the bloody garnish as well. I made a point of getting a particularly red blood orange. So I'm going to test my rather dodgy skills, get a swath of a red blood orange. Going to express some oils over the top. Wipe that around the glass so we get that nice aroma. I'm not fancy, I'm just going to drop it in there. And there is the bloody sand. Time for the all-important taste test, and wow, that whiskey goes well in here. Like a lot going on. I'm not a huge fan of orange juice in cocktails because I think it tends to take over and dominate, and you end up with an orange juice drink with vague other flavors in it. The blood orange is quite different. It's much more tart, and I think it lends itself more to this. And it does come through very strongly, but there's a lot going on. You've got the sweeter liqueur and vermouth in there, but then the whiskey. Oh, the whiskey comes through on the end. This is good, and the fact that there was like no sugar syrup, it's just relying on, and you don't need it because you're relying on the juice and the liqueurs for sweetness, but It's a really sweet drink. Honestly, if someone thinks they don't like scotch or whiskey generally in drinks, a variant of this, of a Blood and Sand, might get them on board, because it's a bit of a gentle introduction to a whiskey cocktail, quite honestly. It's lighter and sweeter, but it's still rich, and the whiskey really comes through. So try it. I think you'll enjoy it with whatever scotch or other whiskies you choose to make it with. Make it your own, is what I'm saying. Gone with the basic Blood and Sand, tweaked it a bit, now it's a bloody sand. Bloody hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to go off and play some knifey spoony, as seen in the documentary series The Simpsons. And I hope, in the meantime, whether you're having a drink, playing knifey spoony, or just staying at home, because in the world today, that's a thing we do a lot of, I hope you are taking care of yourself. Wherever you are, take care of people around you as well. Until I see you again, cheers.